So today I'm going to talk to you about job interviews. By the end of this video, you will be able to nail any job you want. So it's all in the preparation work. It's all in being ready for what questions they're going to ask you, knowing what to ask them, and just having all your stuff together. And we're going to step through that one by one. So first thing to prepare is your SEOs. So what's a SEO? Situation, action, outcome. You need to go walking in there with several examples of things you've done where you can explain the situation and you can explain the actions you took to get to an outcome that was favourable for the company and be able to just talk to that. And even if it wasn't favourable, if it relates to a lesson you've learned, it's also very useful. So some examples that would be really, really good that any job wants to know if you can handle is stuff like conflict management, time management, project management, that sort of stuff. So let's just make one off the top of my head. So let's say I took on a new job and there were two people there who were constantly arguing with each other and it was affecting the other staff members there. So that's your situation. So what action did I take? Perhaps I would have spoken to each of those people individually and tried to find some middle ground between them and encourage them to find a common resolution where both of them gave a little and both of them benefited a little by talking things through, learning from each other, finding ways of working together, so it improved the office environment for everyone, which would be the outcome. So you've got your situation, two squabbling people. Action, you spoke to them both, you got them to get on better. Outcome, everyone was happier and everyone worked more efficiently and there was cohesion and harmony in the office. How's that for one? So let's do another one. Let's say time management. You could say there's a situation in where you walked into a job and there was a million different demands. Everyone was unsatisfied, nothing was getting done. So that's the situation. The action, you could do stuff like telling everyone to put their requests in writing and state very clearly when they need it done by, which allows you time to prioritize. You could pull your manager over and say, hey, I've got all of these tasks and I don't know which one's more important for you guys, for me to finish first. Which one is the toppest business priority right now? And he or she would help you go through and number them all and find an order or delegate if necessary. So the outcome of that would be deadlines being met more appropriately on time, everything being better structured. Okay, some prep work to do before you go to your interview. Get on the company website and look for their annual report and read the About Us section. Try and find the company values and all of their strategies for the next year or so. What the company's all about, what their values, mission, any huge projects they've got going on, what's important to them, because then you can tailor your job interview answers to those and make it sound like you're the perfect person for that job, which I'm sure you are anyway. But first, most important question they will ask you is, tell me about you. This isn't just where you say that you like sitting around drinking wine and eating chocolate and watching Netflix. This is where you align your personal values and any hobbies that kind of, or interests that kind of feed into your work and that workplace. So it sounds like you as the person aligns to you as the worker. Say, for instance, I'll talk through mine and my example's not going to be the same as yours, I'm sure. I was a karaoke DJ for many years when I was younger, which enabled me to practice and work on my public speaking, which has in turn fed into my work as it's helped me to become a confident trainer and develop confidence when upskilling managers. And it has really helped me out for that. On a personal level, I am passionate about self-development and wellness, and that has fed into my HR career as it has enabled me to have background knowledge to assist other people on working on their own wellness needs and that sort of stuff. You can then pull that into the company values. You look at the company values, there's generally a bunch of stuff like honesty, integrity, and you just align who you are as a person to those. If you can find any examples to throw in the mix, it would be a really good idea. One question that it's always good to prepare for and have the research done for is, what do you know about us? That's the company asking you what you know about them. So before you go into any job interview, you need to know all about that particular industry and where that company sits in that industry. If you can do some research on how that particular company started and any hurdles they came across, any big wins they've had, so you can mention that during that section, it at least shows that you do your homework. Another question some companies ask that isn't asked so often these days, it's a bit of a double-edged question, is the what is your biggest weakness question. Some good answers for that would be anything that you can tie into a SAO, so a situation, an action, an outcome, because a weakness is something that would be initially perceived as a negative, which you turned into a positive. So people pleasing. Many of us are people pleasers. If you can explain how you found ways to manage that so it becomes more appropriate and positive. Say, for instance, I'm a people pleaser. I used to find myself trying to spin a million plates and occasionally they would crash. So now I make sure I prioritize people's requests by asking them when they need stuff, by managing just what the requests are, making sure I know the priority of those requests, so I'm doing the right things first. You could say that one of your weaknesses used to be time management, because you didn't necessarily run to an effective schedule, so you'd be dipping in and out of really detailed tasks and find it taking longer, whereas when you prioritize blocks of time and work on similar things, you can get through that particular block of content a lot quicker. You could say that you're a control freak, so you've been given a bunch of tasks, you have direct reports who you could delegate stuff to, but you're worried that there's going to be errors and the like, so you find yourself working crazy hours, doing a load of work when you should be delegating it. You could explain that you've worked through those control freak natures of yourself over time, and that you have learned to leave very, very clear instructions for other task members to check for their understanding, and to just give people a little bit more autonomy to get on with their jobs and trust in them that they will come back to you and tell you if they need any support. So that's another good example. Perfectionism is the token answer I used to give, which is much with the control freak one, biggest weakness, perfectionism, because it's not really a weakness. So it's the easy buzz one to throw back and just say, I've tried to relax and realize that P's get degrees. There are some things that don't need to be done to a ridiculous level of quality, because if you spend too much time on everything, you're not going to have time to get everything done. So they're my best examples for the biggest weakness question. Most important question they will ask you, other than the tell me about your question, is why do you want the job? This is the really important one, where you need to have done your research on what the company is all about, what they're trying to do, what their intent is. Intent would be a key word there, because that's where you need to tie your personal intent to theirs and show that you're the ideal person for the job. So go and have a look at the company values, mission statement if they've got one, and just align, try and take them on a whistle-stop tour of your career to date, how it's fed into this particular vacancy that's opened up, and how you passionately, as a human being, want that job and why it feeds into who you are as a person. Another very important one not to gloss over is the any questions for us question. This is not the time to talk about salary. You do that afterwards, and if they ask you the salary question of what's your salary expectation, the answer should be during interview, I am open to fair negotiation, because that way you give yourself think time and any offers should be in writing from that point. So when they ask you if there's any questions for them, the best answers are, Why do you like working here? Ask them why they like working there, because it shows that you care and that you want to work somewhere that you genuinely want to be at. Another really good question to ask during the Any Questions for Us section is, where do you see the company being in 5 years' time? Because that demonstrates that you've got a growth mindset, and you can then drop in anything you can do to support them getting there, if it's something that particularly aligns to your skill set and what you can bring to the table. So when they ask you why you want the job, link it back to the tell me about you question. This is where you explain how you, the person, are the perfect fit for their job. And in doing so, you need to explain to them that you see your workplace as a second family, and that you are looking to bring your personal family values into your workplace value set and tie it all together. Go on their website and look for their business plan, their annual report, their mission statement, and you will get bonus Smarty points from them if you can link your future dreams and aspirations to their future plans and their upcoming stuff. So getting a job interview means they have already found you suitable on paper. Now they're looking to meet you, the person, and make sure that everything you've written down you can talk to, and that you have real life examples that you can bring up. So make sure you go prepared to any job interview with a list of examples of how you can bring all the stuff you've mentioned to life. A biggest weakness could be time management. So you could say that you have got around feeling out of control when times are busy by managing stuff in your Outlook calendar, by checking things off with your manager to ensure that the order is correct of which the tasks are done, that you've set a priority system, that you manage your emails by putting priority flags on them, color coding. One of my most important job interview tips is be warm and engaging. Go there smiling, happy, and you can win people with charm and enthusiasm. Even if you're not the best candidate for the job, if you're the most engaging, warm, happy sounding one who seems like they're going to be a better team fit, you've got half a shoe in before they've even heard what's going to come out of your mouth in terms of your interview answers. So I'll give you the difference to that. So, okay. Hi Chrissy, welcome to the interview today. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm really nervous, but okay, let's get on with it. Versus, hi, I'm Chrissy. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I can't wait to get stuck into this interview. Yeah, that was a bit over the top, but you see what I mean. You find the middle ground. Another good thing to do before your interview, which can tie into the why do you like working here question, is stalk the panel on LinkedIn. When you find out who the panel members are going to be, look them up on LinkedIn, find out what their previous jobs were, and if you can ask one of the panel members about their previous jobs, that's a great way of demonstrating that you do your research, so you have background knowledge and that you double check everything. They will be really impressed by that. Some other great things to cover off in your interview answers are IT skills. Talk about how you have developed and uplifted your IT skills. Communications, so talk about how you have developed your writing style and your business speaking style, how you have improved any communications between team members and enabled people to have sharing networks and learn from each other. Another great thing to talk about is project management. So looking at a job and all the facets of it before you embark on it, working out what resources you'll need, what people you'll need, setting up a communication schedule, talking through who's going to do what, having regular meetings to see how it's going, giving people updates on how it's all going, and then working out what the measurables are going to be and tracking off against them, and then at the end of the project, how you close it up, how you communicate that, how you work out what the lessons learned are and how you share those and how you improve projects for the next time round. So that's IT, communications, project management. Conflict resolution is another really good one. I gave the example earlier. Conflict resolution is a really important skill to have in a workplace, and it's a really great example to give during interview. So I would encourage you to make sure you've got a conflict example in there. Another example that's really relevant to every workplace ever is knowing your stuff with policies, procedures, legislation. So if you can talk to that, if you can weave some examples in of how you've made sure that business operations align.
Houston, we have a little problem here.
So the GoPro that I've been filming this on has just overheated and died. Oh no! And the memory cards fell twice. Oh! So I'm having to finish up on my mobile phone, which is not ideal, but hey, it's better than nothing. Thank you so much for watching the video and for sticking this little ride out with me. I'm going to be redoing this content at some point, trying to make it a bit more professional and inclusive. If there's anything else at all you would like answered about job interviews, if you would like any more help, information, coaching, please drop me a comment. I'm going to be doing all I can to help upskill people in this area and a bunch of different areas. So please join me for this ride. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you so much and have a really great day. Bye!
Bonza Shaza. I got me a job interview at that awesome place I was on about. Yes. Bloody oath, mate, no word of a lie. What am I gonna do now? Will you hold me beer for me cuzzy? No, mate, just crack a fresh tinny when you come out. Eshai.